The spark. A ship lost, a line crossed. The hope of Gaia was never meant to be a target. She was a medical and diplomatic vessel, unarmed, white-hulled, and marked clearly with Terran Concord emblems and neutral humanitarian codes recognized across 100 systems. She carried no weapons, no soldiers, just doctors, engineers, peacekeepers, and over 800 civilians bound for the joint refugee station on Varellan 4. The ship's captain, Anya Corso, had been making these runs for years. Her voice, soft but firm, crackled over the internal comms as she briefed her crew. "We're entering the neutral corridor. Varellan customs in 30 minutes. You all know the drill. Let's make humanity proud." They never made it. Without warning, 3 Zerati Dominion cruisers decloaked from the void. No hail, no warning shots, just concentrated fire from graviton cannons that tore through the hope of Gaia like paper. The bridge was the first to go, followed by the medical bays, then the habitat rings. She didn't stand a chance. From orbit, one of the Zerati captains chuckled over a private channel. "Let the humans howl. It's time they learned their place." The Dominion broadcast, no claim of responsibility, no declaration of war. The strike was meant as a lesson, a subtle message of dominance cloaked as an unfortunate accident. The Zerati expected political protests, maybe trade sanctions, some posturing in the Galactic Council. What they didn't expect was what followed. Humanity watched the footage in silence. 12 autonomous lifeboats had escaped the inferno, each broadcasting black box data and distress beacons. The scenes they transmitted: children strapped into emergency couches, medics vaporized mid-rescue, Captain Corso's final recorded command: "Get them out. Get as many out as you can." It wasn't outrage that followed. It was quiet, measured, deliberate. In the Earth Orbit Defense Nexus, the Strategic Assembly convened within an hour. 25 of the most powerful leaders and minds on the planet, seated in a subterranean command ring deep beneath what was once Geneva. Above them, the Athena Corps began cycling probabilities, cross-referencing logs, decoding Zerati fleet signatures. "Is there doubt who did this?" asked Admiral Gorski, his voice ice. "None," replied a technician, pale as the lights above them. "It was Zerati command. We have trace evidence of command relays from their forward cohort." There was no vote, no hesitation. The Concord's chancellor simply nodded. One word echoed through the chamber and was transmitted across encrypted channels to Earth's Black Fleet. "Commence." No grand speech, no dramatic call for vengeance, no bombastic war drums, because Earth no longer needed noise. It had precision, calculations of vengeance. In a bunker buried under Antarctic ice, the Athena Core came alive. Encased in zero-temperature quantum shielding, the core wasn't just a supercomputer. It was Earth's most advanced artificial strategist, an adaptive intelligence designed not to win wars with brute force, but to end them with certainty. As human leaders watched from behind polarized glass, Athena processed terabytes of data, gravimetric readings from the attack, Zerati fleet movements, communication relays, known political factions. It analyzed the strike not as a battle, but as a crime. And then, like a machine god passing judgment, it began to respond. Names appeared on the central display. Admiral Zyro Varn commanded the assault wing. Warlord Drekkath signed the covert order. Calitun Research Cluster engineered the graviton cannons used in the attack. 9 others: planners, enablers, executioners. No civilians, no collateral, just the guilty. "We don't hit fleets?" asked General Rao. "No," replied Chancellor Yuna, her voice quiet but unshaking. "We hit individuals. Precisely. Permanently." Across the solar system, Earth's most secret weapon stirred: the Sentinel-class dreadnoughts. 6 black hull ships, long believed myth or rumor, ghosted from the dark sides of moons and asteroid fields. No engine signature, no signal leakage. Their mission was never announced. Their existence never confirmed. Inside them, AI-assisted kill matrices locked onto targets light years away. Each shot calculated for timing, trajectory, and planetary rotation, factoring wind, gravitational anomalies, and even local politics. Athena didn't just plan death. It designed messages. Each target would fall without a trace of human presence. No cities damaged. No innocents harmed. But each death would speak the same sentence. We see you. We found you. We ended you. There would be no planetary invasion. No grand counteroffensive. The Zerati would not be drawn into a war they expected. This was not war. This was punishment. Every strike had to follow Concord Protocol. Zero collateral. Absolute confirmation of guilt. Broadcast proof sent to Dominion High Command. As the Sentinel dreadnoughts accelerated to silent launch, Earth's intelligence teams coordinated the digital endgame. They seeded false rumors, jammed sensors, and blinded satellites. No one would see the shots come. No one would even believe they had happened, until the last breath left the lungs of those responsible. From orbit over Neptune, Admiral Gorsky watched as Sentinel 1 faded into quantum slipstream. How many? He asked Athena, not expecting an answer. The AI responded anyway. 12 targets. 12 confirmed orchestrators. 12 eliminations required. Probability of successful completion, 99.97%. God help the 0.03%, Gorsky muttered. Athena remained silent, because Earth didn't pray anymore. It calculated. Gods of retaliation. Admiral Zyrovarn died during breakfast. He was seated atop his sky spire in the capital city of Varnthel, surrounded by a private guard attachment and an anti-orbital shield network. He had just raised his chalice when a hyperkinetic tungsten rod, no larger than a pin, descended from low orbit at Mach 35. It passed through 10 layers of shielding, 20 meters of reinforced alloy, and the Admiral's chest, vaporizing his heart mid-beat and embedding itself harmlessly into the floor. No one else was harmed. The guard stood frozen. No alarms had gone off. No atmospheric disturbances. Just a single flawless strike. Seconds later, a secure transmission appeared on the palace comms. 1 of 12. Target confirmed. Response delivered. Panic rippled through the Zerati Dominion. Warlord Drekkath, who had signed the attack order under diplomatic cover, was the next to fall. His private battlecruiser disintegrated not from a missile, but from its own reactor, sabotaged via a virus that had entered the fleet systems weeks earlier. A digital ghost with no origin, no trace. Every screen on the ship displayed a single phrase before meltdown. You wrote the order. We erased the ink. At the Caliton Research Cluster, hidden deep in the dust clouds of the Vensari Nebula, 3 top engineers working on graviton weapons were found dead in their lab. All had suffered sudden neural failure, caused by microscopic drones seeded months prior in their ventilation systems. No explosion, no screams, just bodies slumped over terminals and a soft chime from the lab's AI system. Justice completed. Concord response level, absolute. The Zerati military called emergency sessions. Planetary defenses were put on high alert. Elite commandos were ordered to guard the remaining high-value officials, but it made no difference. Humanity didn't go through defenses. They went around them. They used physics, psychology, and mathematics as their arsenal. They killed with surgical detachment, bypassing entire fleets and planetary systems to strike at the exact individuals responsible. Each death as clean and undeniable as a divine hand descending from the stars. Soon, Zerati leadership began turning on itself. Paranoia infected the upper ranks. Some thought humans had informants among them. Others believed it was witchcraft. One general defected, surrendering to a neutral Galactic Council ship and begging for asylum. His only statement? They see everything. They hear nothing. And then you die. In a hidden command chamber back on Earth, Athena silently tallied each confirmed elimination. The board of Concord watched without celebration. This wasn't vengeance. It was demonstration. Let the galaxy see what happens when Earth is attacked. Let them learn without needing to be told. When the 11th target fell, Athena paused. The final name glowed softly on the screen. Proceed, it asked. The Chancellor nodded. Make it precise. The message. High Overseer Vakel Tor had ruled the Zerati outer sectors for 70 years. He was the 12th and final name on Athena's list. He knew it. He had known it for days. Since the 11th execution, he hadn't slept. He moved from ship to ship, changing locations, guarded by warships and cloaked frigates, switching planets twice a day. The finest counterintelligence minds in the Dominion tried to outthink the Terran threat. But it wasn't warships that frightened him. It was silence, the absence of demands, the lack of ultimatums. No threats, just names falling like leaves in autumn. Each death perfectly surgical, each strike more precise than the last. There were no survivors to interrogate, no attackers to hunt. Just corpses and evidence. Justice, human style. Vakel had authorized the attack on the Hope of Gaia. Not with a signature, but a nod in a sealed chamber. A gesture he thought would never leave the shadows. Earth had found it anyway. He looked over the balcony of his orbital palace, an obsidian crescent floating above the gas giant of Jorik 5. Around him, 3 destroyers, a kinetic barrier, 2 field dampeners. Enough to repel a small fleet. None of it mattered. He stared into the swirling blue storm below and whispered, "Let them come." They didn't. Instead, his own palace systems activated. A Terran drone had already been inside, embedded within the architecture, inert, waiting for a signal. It had been installed 5 years earlier, during a diplomatic visit to an allied species who had unknowingly subcontracted Terran engineers. A single flash of blue light. The palace's core opened. Out emerged a floating sphere about the size of a fist. Silent, black, perfectly still. Vakel froze. The sphere pulsed once, scanning him. Then it projected a hologram. Not of war, not of death, of Captain Anya Corso, smiling in a transmission log from the Hope of Gaia. She was laughing, holding a child. Then came the voice, human, calm, with a hint of sadness. "You thought this would go unnoticed, that we would mourn, protest, and move on. But you didn't kill soldiers. You killed healers, children, diplomats. You killed hope." The sphere pulsed again. "So we answer in your language. Precision, certainty, finality, then silence, and then release. A neurosuppression wave, invisible and instantaneous." Vakel collapsed. His heart stopped before his body hit the ground. No pain, no spectacle, just an ending. Athena confirmed the kill. 12 of 12. Across the galaxy, a secure transmission spread. Not from politician, not from a general, but from Earth itself. To those who mistake our compassion for weakness, remember the Hope of Gaia. We are not conquerors. We are not tyrants. But we are precise. We are patient. And when pushed, we do not miss. The Zerati Dominion would never again strike without thinking, because Earth had shown the galaxy what precision truly meant, and the stars would never forget.